In every love story, there's always one who waits and one who leaves. But what happens when the waiting becomes a story in itself, a silent promise carried through the years? This is the story of Arif and Maya, a love that began with the soft patter of rain and ended in a profound, echoing silence. Arif was the kind of guy everyone on campus knew and liked. He was effortlessly charming, a bit careless, and almost always late for class, arriving with a sheepish grin that could disarm anyone. He was the life of every gathering, his laughter echoing through the hallways. Then there was Maya. She was the quiet one, a world of her own. You'd always find her sitting by the window in the library, lost in a book, the world outside just a blur. They moved in different orbits, two stars in the same sky who had never crossed paths, until one rainy afternoon. The sky opened up, and a torrential downpour soaked the campus. Arif, true to his nature, had forgotten his umbrella. He stood under a small awning, watching the rain, wondering how he'd make a run for it. That's when Maya appeared beside him. Without a word, she simply tilted her large, bright yellow umbrella, offering him a share of its shelter. That small, simple act of kindness was the beginning of everything. That short walk under one umbrella turned into countless conversations. They started sharing everything, from their favorite music and hidden coffee spots to their deepest fears and wildest dreams. It didn't take long for the entire campus to notice the shift. The loud, boisterous Arif was now often seen in the quiet corners of the library with Maya, and the reserved Maya was now seen laughing freely in the crowded cafeteria with Arif. They were an unlikely pair, but they fit together perfectly. For them, love wasn't complicated or dramatic. It was simple, it was beautiful, it was honest. After graduation, reality knocked on their door. Arif, brilliant and ambitious, landed a fantastic job offer in Singapore. "It's just for 2 years," he promised Maya, his eyes full of hope and excitement. "Just 2 years to build a foundation. Then I'll come right back and we'll start our life together, for real." Maya looked at him, her heart a mix of pride and a quiet ache. She smiled, a genuine, reassuring smile. "2 years is nothing," she said softly, "if it's for our future." And so, they made a pact. They promised to call every single night to bridge the distance with their voices. And for a while, they did. The first few months were filled with long video calls, virtual dinner dates, and endless messages that kept their connection alive. But time, as it often does, has a strange and subtle way of changing things, of stretching bonds until they fray. Arif's work became more demanding. The projects got bigger, the hours got longer, the nightly calls became shorter, then less frequent. "Sorry, Maya, I'm exhausted. I'll call you tomorrow, I promise," he would say. But tomorrow became a vague, distant concept. It turned into days, then weeks, then months. Maya, back home, held on. She kept her end of the promise, sending sweet voice notes, photos from their old haunts, and gentle reminders of her love. She tried to understand, to be patient, but the replies she received grew shorter, colder, and more infrequent. The warmth was fading. She could feel him slipping away, like sand through her fingers, and a silent dread began to settle in her heart. She tried to stay strong, to believe in the promise he had made, but the silence on his end was becoming deafening. One day, in the bustling social scene of his new life, Arif met someone new at work. It started innocently enough, a shared joke over a deadline, a casual lunch. He told himself it was just a friendship, a welcome distraction from the pressures of his job, but hearts don't lie. He found himself looking forward to seeing her, his thoughts drifting to her more often than he cared to admit. He was drifting further and further from the shore he had promised to return to. The 2 years passed. For Arif, they flew by in a whirlwind of new experiences and a new connection. For Maya, they crawled by in a slow, agonizing wait. Then, one morning, a letter arrived. The handwriting was his. Her hands trembled as she opened it. The words were few, but they were final. "I'm sorry, Maya. Life took me in another direction. I've met someone. Please forget me and be happy." She read the letter again, and then again, the words blurring together. But she didn't cry. Instead, a strange, sad smile touched her lips. The kind of smile that hides a pain so deep, it's beyond tears. That night, in a quiet act of letting go, she deleted every message, every photo, every digital trace of their time together. She erased the album of their life, but she could never bring herself to delete his number. It remained in her phone, a silent, solitary monument to a love that was. 5 years later, life brought Arif back to Bangladesh for a friend's wedding. The city felt familiar, yet foreign. So much had changed, but most of all, he had changed. Driven by a wave of nostalgia, he walked past their old cafe. A closed sign hung on the door. He then went to the park, to the exact bench where they used to sit for hours, talking about a future that never came. And there, sitting on the weathered wood, was a small, simple photo frame. Inside was a picture of the two of them from their university days, and beneath it, a small plaque that read, "Arif and Maya, together, somewhere in time." He felt a jolt in his chest. He asked the old park keeper if he knew anything. He asked old mutual friends. The stories varied. Some said Maya got married and moved away. Others whispered that she never did, that she remained in the city, living a quiet life. He smiled sadly to himself, a hollow feeling echoing in his chest. "Maybe she's happier now," he whispered to the wind. But deep down he knew the truth. He had left behind a love so pure, so patient, that it was something he could never, ever replace. That night, Arif sat by the window of his hotel room, the city lights blurring before his eyes. It started to rain. The same soft, rhythmic sound that had once brought them together now served as the soundtrack to his regret. He closed his eyes and wondered, if he had just stayed, if he had honored his promise, would things be different? Would he be looking at those city lights with her by his side? It was a question he would never find the answer to. Sometimes love doesn't end with a loud, dramatic goodbye. It simply fades away, ending with silence. And that silence, filled with unspoken words and what-ifs, can be louder and more haunting than 1,000 arguments. Every year now, on the anniversary of the day he left, Arif returns to that park. He places a single white rose on their bench, a quiet tribute to the girl who waited and the home he left behind. This was "She Waited, But I Never Came Back," a story about love, time, and the irreversible pain of letting go. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Because somewhere out there, someone might still be waiting, and a story like this might be the comfort they need. Thank you for watching.